Gareth, good to see you. How's Harry Kane?
He's good, yeah. He's worked a little bit more individually today, but we'll be back in with the team tomorrow and good for the game.
Did he need a scan?
We just checked him out just to see. I think sometimes when you're treating things, it's important to know exactly what's there, and that was all good.
Was there a concern at any point? Because he's obviously had ankle issues before.
Yeah, no, it's not so much the ankle. It's more the foot. So, no, I mean it was a poor challenge really, but I think it's one that fortunately we've got away with reasonably lightly.
So, was there a concern at one point? Were you holding your breath?
No, I was when he went down on the pitch, but no. Once he'd carried on playing, everything's been good.
Do you have any reflections on the armband issue? Because England have faced a degree of criticism for not following through a principle.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been dealt with elsewhere, really, so I've not been involved in the discussions. I think lots of the European countries were obviously involved in that project, if you like, and were hoping to make a statement in that way. That's proved not to be possible, and I think those federations took that decision collectively that they were going to have to do it a different way. I think what hasn't changed is what we stand for and the things that we've spoken about. We would have liked to have made that sort of symbol as well, but that hasn't been possible.
How about doing that sort of symbolic gesture or action-based gesture moving forward then? Do you have a reluctance to do that now after this, or are you more determined to do that now?
No, look, I'll continue to answer the questions that need to be answered, but for me, I'm in the middle of the tournament now. I haven't got time to think about those things. So really, those things should have been dealt with months ago, decided months ago, and now we're such a quick turnaround between matches. I've got to really focus my time and energy on the players and the next opponent.
On to which? What is the challenge you face Friday?
High energy team, very athletic midfield. They press well. They've got speed in the forward line, and I think they're a well coached, well organised team. So I think we know how the game will be. We've got to make sure that we're ready for it.
I was going to say, what sort of game do you think the United States want to make it?
Well, they as I said, they're an athletic team who press really well. So when you're in possession of the ball, you don't get time to settle. We've got to move the ball quickly. We've got to be ready for where that pressure's coming from. And they're combative, and I think we saw in the first half with Wales what the type of football they're capable of playing.
What did Wales expose to a degree in the second half that you can exploit?
Well, they're different to us, really. So I think they made the States defend more, and we've got to make sure that we bring our best attributes into the game, because that will pose different problems to the problems that Wales posed in that second half. They're tactically set up differently, and they've got different profiles of players. So it's about how we play and the best version of ourselves, really.
England were at times, they really were the best version of themselves in the game against Iran. Will you keep with the same formation? Do you feel now that you have a template there that can be followed through for the rest of the tournament based on the attacking players that you have at your disposal? Yeah,
that's the decision that we've got to make. We'll always look at every opponent and what's the best way for us to go, and who's available for us, and who's playing well. And we've got good options. We've got good options from the bench as well. And so all of those aspects go into planning the game.
Did you see, though, in that formation just a level of play that's only going to be possible to a degree with four defenders, with one more attacker on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it always depends on the profile of the players in the team, really. In modern football, teams might play four at the back but actually build with only three. They push one full-back high. They might play with three at the back but build with four because a midfield player drops low. So systems are so fluid in the modern game that the way the team sheet is written out at the start is rarely where the players are as the game progresses.
What impressed you most the other night?
That we dealt with what is a big game. You know, the opening game of a World Cup has a lot of attention on it, has a lot of pressure on it. That we showed our experience for dealing with that type of occasion, and we played the football that we wanted to, and that we feel we're capable of.
So often we've seen England teams struggle with that pressure. Your teams have obviously been perfect in the opening games of a tournament, but what particular lift-off might this give you?
I think all we've achieved is a platform, really. I think we needed to see ourselves scoring goals again, winning a game. It's a while since we've won a game, so there are some things that I think for us were important. But we know that the next two games are going to be totally different to the first, and objective one is to get out of the group, and we still need 3 more points to do that.
How tough have you been on the players, though, after what you said were aspects of that performance? I know you're a bit tongue-in-cheek, that didn't amuse you defensively. What have you actually said about that?
No, we have just talked about how far do we want to go, how good do we want to be, because if we're to progress through the tournament to where we want to, then we've got to be good at both ends of the pitch.
And what have you made of the response back home? The videos are out there already of fans celebrating in fan parks. We're seeing again that response back home. You talked about the need to get the fans engaged on a journey, another journey, and that must have given you great encouragement then from that perspective. The nature of the other night.
Yeah, I mean that's great to hear. We're here, or I'm here. I mean the players are here because it's the highlight of their life to play in a World Cup. I'm here because I want to make a difference to English football, and I want to take our fans on these journeys like we've been in the last 2 tournaments that brings people together, and they have matches where they remember where they were. Half of them will have been at school on Monday, so that will be different for the next game. But that's why we're here. That's what international football is all about, and we want everybody to enjoy it and feel that they're part of it with us.
And if there's one quality you most need Friday?
Composure.
Back to that.
Yeah, I think we will be pressed aggressively, and we've got to show composure with the ball. And within that, then the tempo of the game rises, and you've got to have emotional control. So it's about how we bring our game to the table on Friday again. We managed to do that on Monday, but we've got to start again from scratch.